Dieppe is a coastal community in the arrondissement of Dieppe in the Seine-Maritime department in the Upper Normandy region of northern France. The population stood at 34,670 in 2006. A port on the English Channel, at the mouth of the Arque River, famous for its scallops, and with a regular ferry service to New Haven in England. Dieppe also has a popular pebbled beach, a 15th-century castle and the churches of Saint Jacques and Saint Remy. The mouth of the Seine River lies in the canton of Dieppe west at Haute-sur-Mer. The inhabitants of the town of Dieppe are called Dieppois and Dieppois in French. Geography. Dieppe belongs to the Pays de Caux, lying along the Alabaster coast in the region of Upper Normandy. It is located on the Channel coast, north of Rouen at the mouth of the Arque River and lies east of the mouth of the River Seine. Toponymy. Mentioned as Dieppe in 1015 to 1029, Dieppe in 1030, then in the 12th century. Dieppe, Duper and Dieppe. From Dutch deep greater than deep, or Old English deop or Old Norse djupr, same meaning. The same adjective can be recognized in other place names like Dieppedale and Dipdale in Normandy, which is the same as Deepdale in Great Britain. The stream running through Dieppe was called Teller in Merovingian and Carolingian documents, before being called Dieppe in the 10th century. The name has stuck to the town, although the name of the stream changed again, to Bethune. History. First recorded as a small fishing settlement in 1030, Dieppe was an important prize fought over during the 100 Years' War. Dieppe housed the most advanced French school of cartography in the 16th century. Two of France's best navigators, Michel Levasseur and his brother Thomas Levasseur. The expedition resulted in the construction of Fort Caroline, the first French colony in the New World. Another expedition 2 years before, where Goulain de Laudonnière was under command of Jean Ribaut, a local Huguenot captain, had resulted in the foundation of Charlesfort, now in South Carolina. Dieppe was the premier port of the kingdom in the 17th century. On July 23, 1632, 300 colonists heading to New France departed from Dieppe. At the revocation of the Edict of Nantes in 1685, Dieppe lost 3,000 of its Huguenot citizens, who fled abroad. Dieppe was an important target in wartime. The town was largely destroyed by an Anglo-Dutch naval bombardment in 1694. It was rebuilt after 1696 in a typical French classical style by Ventabrén, an architect, who gave it its unique feature for a seaport. It was popularized as a seaside resort following the 1824 visit of the widowed Duchess of Berry, daughter-in-law of Charles X. She encouraged the building of the recently renovated municipal theatre, the Petit Theatre, associated particularly with Camille Saint-Saëns. During the later 19th century, Dieppe became popular with English artists as a beach resort. Prominent literary figures such as Arthur Symons loved to keep up with the latest fads of avant-garde France here, and during the season, sometimes stayed for weeks on end. Second World War. Dieppe was occupied by German naval and army forces after the fall of France in 1940, in order to allow a better defense of the coast against a possible Allied landing. The Germans destroyed the Mauresque casino that was located near the beach area. The destruction of the casino had only begun at the time of the Dieppe raid. The Dieppe raid in the Second World War was a costly battle for the Allies. On August 19, 1942, Allied soldiers, mainly drawn from the 2nd Canadian Infantry Division, landed at Dieppe in the hope of occupying the town for a short time, gaining intelligence and drawing the Luftwaffe into open battle. The Allies suffered more than 1,400 deaths, 1,946 Canadian soldiers were captured, more prisoners than the Army lost in the 11 months of the 1944–45 NW Europe campaign. However, no major objectives on the ground were achieved. In the air, a major objective of drawing German air forces into open battle was realized. French soldiers from the region, captured in the fighting of 1940, were returned to the area after the Dieppe raid as repayment by the German occupation authorities, who felt that the conduct of the French civilians in Dieppe had been correct and had not hindered the defense of the port during the battle. The port remained garrisoned by German forces until the conclusion of the Battle of Normandy. When the 1st Canadian Army approached to the end of August, the garrison withdrew, not desiring to enter into battle for the port. Dieppe was liberated on September 1, 1944, by soldiers from the 2nd Canadian Infantry Division. On September 3, the entire division paused for reorganization, and a victory parade was held. Contingents representing all major units of the 2nd Division marched 10 abreast behind the mass pipes and drums of the division's Highland regiments. A memorial service was held in the nearby Canadian Military Cemetery to honor those killed in the Dieppe raid. Post-war Dieppe, a city in New Brunswick, Canada, received its present name in 1946, in honor of the commemoration of the 913 Canadian soldiers killed in the Dieppe raid. The majority of its inhabitants are of Acadian descent. Notable people: Jean Angot, shipowner; Jean Asselin, painter and drawer; Thomas Asselin, poet; Adolphe Félix Auguste Chavater, politician; Jean Cousin, navigator; Edmond Coru, shipowner; Jean Crasset, writer; François-Antoine Henri Descroix-Illis, chemist; François Descroix-Illis, chemist; Adrien de Porga, engineer and architect of the Vieux Carré at New Orleans; Charles Timoleon de Sigone, poet; Pierre de Chauvin, Sieur de Tonnechuet, Huguenot trader at Honfleur; Isaac de Caux, architect-engineer; Abraham Duquesne, general lieutenant of the French Navy; Charles Lemoyne, colonist of New France, First Lord of Longueuil; Joseph-Marie Fluist, painter and sculptor; Thomas Gouaille, scientist; Michel Mollet, artist; Jean Marga, artist; Jean Pequet, physiologist; Jean Parmentier, navigator and poet; Jean Ribaud, corsair Protestant; Richard Simon, historian; Antoine Augustin Bruzin de la Martinière, scientist; Joseph Lavalette, poet, journalist and novelist; Pierre-Adrien Graillon, sculptor; Bruno Brocquais, photographer; Albert Ravel, theologist; Emmanuel Mascaret, architect; Eugene Bennett, sculptor; Ernest Henry Dubois, sculptor; André Lerme, actor; Auguste de la Force, historian; Louis de Broglie, Nobel Prize-winning physicist; Jean-Henri Élie, founder of the Alpine car factory; Pierre Dupuis, painter; Pierre Dupuis, cartoonist; Jean-Paul Villain, athlete of steeple 3,000 meters; Sophie Bassignac, writer; Valérie Lemercier, actress; Olivier Freiberg, writer; Tessophile Gelé, doctor; David Asline, journalist; Dom Nicolas Lanuri, Benedictine monk; Gouaille de Longmare, historian; David Huard, lawyer; Jacques-Frédéric Descroix-Illis, scientist; Simon Barthélemy Joseph Noel de la Morinière, journalist; Pierre-Jacques Ferret, archaeologist; Étienne Isidore Pourpoint, shipowner; Pierre-Jacques Théodore Blard, sculptor; Eugene Crapet, writer; Gustave Jean-Baptiste Chapelas, meteorologist; Victor Langlois, historian; Julien Théodore Nicolas Delahaye, scientist; Michel Hardy, librarian; Théodore Albert de Brutels, painter; Pierre-Louis Robert, journalist; Albert Joseph Dupont, architect; Georges-Paul Vasselin, shipowner; Jules Marie Jos Hardy, librarian; Joseph-Marie Fortuné Godin, sculptor; Georges Marchand, photographer; Edmond Leveau, shipowner; André Lebie, writer; Fernand Maillot, architect; Georges Guibon, politician; Achille Desjardins, sport journalist; Émile Giraud, lawyer; Aragas Isaac, he was the banker; Charles Gerard, Karen Cheryl or Claude Lelouch at the time; Georges Lebas, writer; Marie Foubert, impressionist painter; Thierry Gatinet, novelist; Emmanuel Manu Petit, a World Cup winning footballer. Saint Jean de Lalande S.J., a 17th-century Jesuit brother who was martyred by the Iroquois Indians in present-day New York State. Saint Antoine Daniel S.J., martyr, and Saint Jean Cosson, one of the first to show the sinusoidal projection. He used it for a world map of 1570. Laurent Lanois, singer, member of the bands XOXOOX, Igor Rikin. Heraldry. Historical images of Dieppe. View of Dieppe's Grand Quay. J.M.W. Turner, The Harbour of Dieppe, 1826. Georges Boyot winning the 1912 French Grand Prix in Dieppe. Carl Spitzweg's painting Frauenbad in Dieppe 3. Fritz Thaulo's Fra Dieppe Medelvin d'Aqua. Ernst Oppeler Marketplace. Ernst Oppeler at the beach. Nicolai Vermont's painting View of Dieppe's beach. The castle in the 1890s. Sites. The castle, Château de Dieppe, which survived the 1694 bombardment, is now a museum and exhibition space, with a strong maritime collection. A rich collection of 17th and 18th century ivory carvings, including lacy folding fans, for which Dieppe was known, and the furnishings and papers of Camille Saint-Saëns. The castle's interior courtyard is picturesque. At the Square du Canada, near the castle in a park at the western end of the esplanade, there is a monument erected by the town commemorating the long relationship between Dieppe and Canada. The events recorded begin with the early 16th century, and culminate with the Dieppe Raid and the liberation of Dieppe by Canadians on September 1, 1944. The base of the monument is inscribed with the words "Nous nous souvenons." Above the monument, the Canadian maple leaf flag is flown side by side with that of France. Some of the Canadian soldiers who were killed are buried in the Dieppe Canadian War Cemetery, in the commune of Saint-Aubin-sur-Scie southwest of Dieppe. Château Musset de Dieppe. Château Musset. The harbour. The waterfront. Transport. The town has a railway station, operated by SNCF, with frequent departure for Rouen, Rive Droit and Paris Saint-Lazare. SNCF operates also buses to Gisors embranchement through Circur. Dieppe has a ferry port with direct services to the English town of Newhaven, situated at the mouth of the River Ouse in East Sussex. The twice-daily service to the port of Newhaven is operated by DFDS Seaways, under a concession subsidized by the French government. Services are normally operated using the MS Côte d'Albâtre. Current services. DFDS Seaways. Former services. Hover Speed. Withdrawn in 2004. P&O Stena Line. Withdrawn in 1999. International relations. Twin towns, sister cities. Dieppe is twinned with Brighton, United Kingdom. Dieppe, Canada.